Hello, everyone. Welcome to our February 2026 feature drop. I'm really excited to bring it to you. Besides some exciting new features, I'm going to go through some exciting new features you can expect in the future. I'm going to do a quick run through our pro services, some announcements for some upcoming live with Sandras. Of course, our question and answers that I always go through. I'm going to do a small section about our JT Summit for anyone that hasn't heard yet, and then at the end, I'll be giving everyone some details on how they can connect with us in whichever way they need. So to get us started here, for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Manny Navarette. I'm a software support technician here at Gatemaster, but I also work really closely with the development team to bring you guys these updates that I'm going over here today. So if you haven't met me, I'm sure you will soon. Joining us today, I want to introduce our content marketing manager, Destiny. She's absolutely vital to Gatemaster success, and she'll be helping me during our Q&A today. So welcome, Destiny. I'm just going to jump straight into our new features for February. So we actually didn't get a update out in the month of January, working over the holidays, but first update since December of 2025, first update of 2026. So excited to keep bringing you new features throughout this year. Starting with an exciting one, you'll find that users with reporting access are going to see their 25 most recent reported reports. So to the right here, you'll see I have this filter on this report set up with a ton of items. And in the past, if you wanted to run this report again, let's say on a different day, you would have to go through and kind of laboriously click each item over and reset up your report. But with this new update, which you can see here, there's a new UI element at the bottom of the screen where we save your recently run reports. So at the bottom of the screen here, you can also hit that small edit button and you'll find a few different options. So when you're editing a recently ran report, you can change the title. So in this example here, I'm doing an accounts by entitlement expire, and I'm running a report to get all my 2026 season pass holders. Since this list is something that's probably going to grow, I went ahead and pinned it. So now whenever I open my reporting viewer, that's actually going to be at the very top of my recently run reports. And if I ever wanted to access this exact report with the exact parameters, it's just one click away now. So these recently run reports are unique to your user account. So let's say like we have a manager, co-manager situation happening. Each manager would have to set up their own report at least once to be able to have the option to save it. But this is also the kind of first step to a pretty exciting new reporting feature that I'll talk about a little later in the presentation. But definitely you'll want to take advantage of the new recently run reports and definitely pin any reports that you and your team are using frequently. I imagine it'll be a huge time save, especially for some of those sales reports or larger reports that we were putting really specific queries in for. So really excited about this one. Next, I want to go over us adding the search filter to merchandise items. So previously on the right, you'll see we had a search filter in the program, but it was limited to just merchandise containers and when you were creating combo packages or entitlement benefits, for example. But there was other parts of the application where we thought the search filter would be fit. So now, if you go over to your administration tab and navigate over to your merchandise items, every merchandise item has multiple search filters now under the optional tab. So here under this options tab is where we would set up, add-ons to any specific item. Let's say you want to add on fries to a burger. This is where you would set that up. And previous to this update, there was no way to filter your items. So for the example here, there is a ton of available add-ons, and we would have had to scroll down the list to find it. But with the new changes, you'll be able to hit this filter button, look up the exact item you want to add, and get it moved over. And along with being in the available items section for you to, locate and add items, it's available in every single section. So let's say you already have a ton enabled and only wanted to disable a certain few, totally an option with the new filters. So this should definitely optimize the creation of those more complicated item setups or those items that had lots of, options. So exciting there. Another exciting one for all our access node users. Previously in Gatemaster, we would serve you invalid response, or on the example to the right here, a no match found response, kind of letting you know there's no data for this ticket in our system. But after the fact, it was always kind of hard to track down what exactly happened if we didn't have the customer handy or maybe the attendant that helped them. So to alleviate some of this, we've actually included invalid scans on some of our reports. So if you go to your management report viewer and you look at the access node scan detail report, you'll find now when you generate these reports, there's a few items highlighted red. These items that are highlighted red were actually your invalid scans. So previously it would just show every single valid scan, but now we get time, date, the exact ticket number that was scanned. Let's say they tried to scan a ticket twice, we would see the guest associated with the ticket purchase. So hopefully this will provide some additional transparency in the access node scanning department, and especially with those invalid scans. So exciting news there as well. I think one of the last I'll go over today is our new start on scan pass type. So previously in Gatemaster, we had tons of different options when you were setting up an entitlement key. Start on a specific date, start at the time of purchase. But we saw a pretty growing need for a start on scan pass type. So with this pass type, which are available for both single accounts or if you wanted to sell it to like the entire family account, also an option. Along with that, you could also limit it to just one redemption daily starting on scan, or just starting on scan, use indefinitely. The good part about this is when it's set up, you'll find there's no listed start or complete date. And if you try to redeem a benefit that's set as start on scan, you'll get this new alert that says this entitlement must first be activated by scanning it at an access node. So pretty unique situation, but let's say we give out like a 10 admission pass, something like this would be perfectly applicable since we're not necessarily caring when they start the redemption, but let's say we want to limit them to 1 year from when they first scan, something like this would be perfect for that implementation. So make sure you reach out to Gatemaster support to see which kind of entitlement benefits would best fit your needs, or if you have a pretty good grapple on it, definitely make sure to give the start on scan pass type a look over and see how you could use it. If you did want to see the full feature list of every change made, the bug fixes, and any additional features I didn't go over today, those are available on our Gatemaster user portal under our announcements. And if you're having trouble accessing those, just reach out to me, manny@gatemaster.com, and I can get you a link to that feature list as well. Excuse me. Moving forward to the preview of our future features, you'll see some familiar here, but definitely a few exciting changes that I want to announce. Our location manager, we're still kind of honing in on what exactly we want this to look like. I think in the past we were dead set on it managing different locations, inventory and items, but another aspect that's kind of come into development is the company logo and company name, since it's totally not impossible for two companies from two different names to share like financials and items behind the scenes. So we want to be able to support that within Gatemaster. And we expect our location manager to kind of overhaul and allow you to do that on a completely new level. Aside from that, our tap and go access control is like approaching its finalized state. The Google passes are essentially finished, and the Apple passes, we were waiting on some final access from Apple, but our development team has got everything they need, and we're kind of in the final push there. So anyone with Alvarado access devices, you'll find that your digital passes will have some increased tap and go capabilities here soon. Not quite yet, but coming very soon. Another update we're excited to announce is the ability to send digital passes from the point of sale. So upon development, the digital pass generation process was kind of exclusive to the e-commerce, but because the digital passes were so well received, we're receiving a lot of requests to have the ability to send, point of sale transactions or resend digital passes from the point of sale. So we will be adding that option within the point of sale here soon. In this example below, I show how when you send a digital pass, an additional option is going to populate on the customer's end for them to download their digital version as well. I kind of touched on this earlier when I first mentioned the ability to see those recently run reports, but the kind of end goal of that feature was this automated report delivery. So now that we can say reports, for lack of a better word, that could allow us to begin development of this automated report delivery. So we're going to have a new module in the admin panel for you guys to pick, and within that section of the app, you'll be able to select which report and which frequency goes out to exactly who, kind of completely hands-free outside of setting up those rules. So let's say you have a daily sales report that needs to get sent out. We're hoping to be able to automate that here soon, kind of leveraging that recently run reports. So kind of two-step development there, and you should be seeing the fruits of it soon. Last one and another one I'm very excited to announce. We just finalized our partnership with Teak, and we're going to be taking advantage of their smart refund protection. So I know we offered some refund protection in the past, but it was pretty limited in its accessibilities for all payment processors. So we're hoping with Teak, we'll be able to expand that net. And if you're interested in having Teak Smart Refund enabled when the feature is finalized and does come to Gatemaster, be sure to reach out to Gatemaster support, and I can get your name on the top of that list to help us get this rolled out. So very exciting news there. Tentatively, I would expect our next release to come mid-March, obviously pending any huge changes. And this one actually includes a ton of those features I talked about, probably minus the location manager. Everything should be about ready for this mid-March release. That should about wrap up everything new for February and things you can expect. Hopping into, what we can offer for you now. If you're ever in need of any pro services, please reach out to us at 510-799-9725 or sales@gatemaster.com. Our pro services, we can add on seats, and seats are actually what we refer to our licenses as. So whether that's an additional point of sale or a kitchen screen or some kind of additional display, we can accommodate that with an additional seat. Or let's say you wanted an authorized site or maybe some kind of custom development, we can also accommodate that. To go into more detail about those custom development services, I kind of see them going a few different ways. More often than not, a custom development is a client hoping to kind of enhance a function that already exists within Gatemaster to maybe fit their use case more specifically. But on top of that, it can just be a completely new process that doesn't exist within Gatemaster or any other, point of sale applications. And I'd say the third use case for a custom development is, let's say you're newly transitioned or you've been looking around and you see a feature that you think would be really handy. If you could present us with an example or requirements for that, we could definitely get that built in as well to give you that competitive edge while still, making use of Gatemaster and the environment you've built there. So if any of that sounds like it would be helpful to you, make sure to reach out to our custom development services and get that taken care of. Along with that, I just wanted to go over our software seats and authorized sites one more time. So since those are our licenses, if you, let's say, expanded your location and you wanted to add an extra point of sale, you got some new access devices and wanted to start getting people to validate in, you are going to need additional software seats for those. Essentially, you need a seat to do anything in Gatemaster. So, and whenever you want to expand those, just be sure to reach out so we can get you what you need. And lastly, the authorized sites are a great way to provide password protected, like e-commerce listings to, let's say, third-party partners, or let's say there's like a specific event happening that still needs to be purchased. We can set that up through an authorized site. So definitely reach out. Tons of options here at Gatemaster, and we're more than happy to help with our pro services. Also wanted to run through the next few Live with Sandra offerings. So if you don't know, our CEO, Sandra Shannon, she discussed really any topic surrounding the amusement universe. It's not necessarily about point of sales. It's not necessarily even the most directly related to attractions all the time. Sometimes it's technology or team building or business building. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. We actually have an exciting one tomorrow with Hannah. She's the VT at Subsea Systems, and that's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And if you're not able to tune into that one, I would definitely recommend the one we have scheduled next Thursday with Ken Handler. He's the president of Global Management Amusement Professionals, and he has his hands all over a ton of attractions all over the country. And I think he's a perfect person's, brain to pick on a forum like this. So definitely check out our new Live with Sandra's coming very soon. And if you were interested in being a guest on Live with Sandra, go ahead and scan this QR code. There's a small questionnaire and form you fill out, but someone from our team should be able to reach out to you shortly if that's something you're interested in. Alrighty, that brings us to our Q&A session. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat. Destiny, were there any questions in the chat yet?
Yeah, we got one right here. Is what operational challenge led to the ability to save recently run reports?
Definitely. So I kind of glazed over it a bit at the beginning, but it was really for our more expansive reports. Our canned reports are kind of meant to give the one shoe fits all solution to reporting, which is almost never the case. So when you set those individual filters, it really tailors in the report to what you want. But like I mentioned before, if you have, 30, 40 different settings to set for the report, that can really hamper, generation times, and you're probably going to spend more time than you would have liked getting that set up. So with the recently run reports being saved and everything kind of being one click away and being able to rename and save things, I think it's going to be a big overhaul for those teams that make big use of our report viewer.
Nice. Our next question is, how does including invalid scans and scan reports help operators make better decisions?
Yeah, so I think one thing that the invalid scans being including on reports adds is just another layer of data visibility. So let's say your operators keep complaining about a certain kind of, oh my goodness, sorry about that, about a certain kind of ticket being, problematic. Well, if we can look into the invalid scans and see, what exactly was causing those to be invalid, whether it was maybe the scanner's not scanning the expected number, or maybe there could be a multitude of things, and I feel like having the access to the exact data that's making it invalid can be problematic or can help solve those problems that might arise. So essentially having access to the information kind of it gives you the information that you don't know. You don't know what you don't know until you see it. So whether it's maybe your scanners are having an issue, or maybe you have someone trying to use old tickets, this is going to give you that visibility into what exactly is going on.
Okay, cool. Well said. Our next question is, what kind of real world scenarios does the new start on access no scan for entitlement improve?
Yeah, so I think that use case where a lot of times we're worried about the kind of entitlement length. So let's say, hey, when you buy this, you are entitled to these benefits for 1 year. Um, I think this start on scan takes the unique approach of, hey, after your purchase, it doesn't really matter when you redeem it for the first time. The clock kind of starts then. So there's not really any options within Gatemaster for something like that. Let's say we had a 2026 pass and we wanted to give you, 10 visits within the week of 2026. We would have had to give you valid time throughout the entire year, whereas now we can limit it. Hey, as soon as you start, you'll only have your week and then it's over. So again, just more like granular control over how exactly things are working.
Cool. Next question is, how does the new search function within items improve the item building in Gatemaster?
Yeah, I'd say it's almost attuned to the reporting. So let's say you're building, a meal combo and you're getting all the add-ons in there. It can get very tedious if you're on your fifth or sixth combo and you're adding those same options over and over again manually. So now with the search function, instead of having to search through a list of possibly, thousands of items, we can get it reduced down to just the few that share the similar names. So um, and if let's say you have a ton of manual work ahead of you, if you reach out to Gatemaster support, we can help you with like naming conventions or other organizational tricks to really optimize that setup time. And of course, as members of Gatemaster support, you're always entitled to managed services. So if there's ever a certain item build that's really daunting or intimidating, you're always free to reach out and have us help you there. So I'd say it's not only helpful for the customers, but definitely on our end, on Gatemaster support and managed services team, we're going to appreciate having the option as well.
Awesome. And our very last question in the chat is, for operators thinking long term, how do these incremental improvements compound over time?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of live service things, the fact that, our Gatemaster mobile application is this living, breathing product means that you guys are kind of growing alongside the application. And as your team learns to leverage Gatemaster's features and functions more and more, we'll keep adding or expanding on the existing features and functions to give you more and more power. So, for example, you can save reports now, but that's just going to be the first step, and eventually bringing you the option to entirely automate, reports being generated and sent out to where they need to go. So, um, I'd say it kind of leaves, I feel like in the past, I'm sure software users, there was a time where you would kind of have to wish for things or, man, I hope in like a decade this works this way. Whereas now those timelines are squished. If you really need something built, you're always free to have custom development. And, if there's ever an issue, we're shortly behind a report of, we're just a report behind on fixing it. So, I think the live service model is very interesting for a point of sale service, but I think it fits it perfectly well.
Cool. Well, those are all the questions that we have in the chat. So thank you, Manny.
Awesome. Thank you, Destiny. And like I mentioned before, if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. Manny@gatemaster.com is my email. Before I let everyone go today, I couldn't let you all go today without making mention of our GT Summit. So, we had our first GT Summit last year. This is going to be our second annual. Again, there's only 40 seats, and this is going to be a real opportunity for you to, I'd say, overhaul your business in a ton of aspects, whether that be your team interactions, the way you offer your product, uh, the mindset you have when you're making sales or making leadership decisions. We really try to, touch all facets of your business almost in a similar way that Life with Sandra tries to, spread its wings and touch a lot of topics. I think the GT Summit's going to be an awesome forum for professionals from a ton of different spaces around the attraction world to kind of congregate. So if you haven't heard about it yet, scan that QR code in the middle of the screen. It'll take you directly to our link where we have more information about this directly. And of course, if you can't make it out to Arvada, the first week of March is when this is happening. We do have virtual tickets available. Sorry, it's actually going to be the second week of March. I believe it's March 11th and 12th. So if you can't make it out in person, we do have virtual tickets available, and all official dates and purchase links are available at the QR code as well. So hope to see you there. Very excited for this GT Summit, and I think I'll have a talk of my own, if I'm not mistaken. So very, very, very excited for that. If you need to contact us for whatever reason, feel free to use this QR code below. But like I've mentioned plenty of times, you can reach out to me, Manny on LinkedIn, use my email directly, or reach me through our support portal. Our sales team is also available at sales@gatemaster.com. Outside of that, connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, things like that. We have a newsletter constantly going out. And don't forget to sign up to our email updates for all the latest and greatest, not only happening with Gatemaster, but with Live with Sandra and things like that as well. Thank you all again for coming to our February feature drop. And I think that's all for me today. I appreciate you, and until next time.